Hey, what's up, guys? Local sushi chef JC over here. Hope you guys are all blessed, not stressed. Welcome back to another episode with the podcast Chill Out with Cal and JC. Now, last week we jumped the gun. We ran from episode 10 to episode 12. So this week we're doing episode 11. So, as mentioned, welcome back to another episode of the Chill Out with Cal and JC podcast. We are so happy to be back, thrilled to be back. And it's been a jam packed week for the both of us. Everybody's gone back to work. A lot of things happening on social media. And even the schoolboys are getting faders that looks like normally you'd have a kufia, but in Joburg, I don't know what they're doing with the boys' hair there. But yeah.
No, I don't know. I haven't followed, so I don't look at boys, so I wouldn't know.
It's young boys, man. It's not men though. But there it is nowadays. So either or. With that being said, work has started. A lot of professionals has gone back into the office. For those of you that work from home, suppose that you are still in holiday mode, rolling out of bed, grabbing your laptops and doing the necessary.
So, JC, how's your week been?
Well, I came out to Joburg. I had a gig down there, and it was pretty exciting. Um, Flying alone, having alone time on the plane, not having you there. It was a bit weird, but you know, got to go where the money is, I guess.
Well, I enjoyed my girly time without you.
It's good to hear, yeah.
I just had to put on all my robots and pretend that they're you. I had to charge them and just like make the robots, sweep the floors,
No wonder when I came home,
vacuum.
it was so clean. I could literally eat off the floor. Eh? Did you take little AI out and do the things?
Yeah, I just had to just like monitor them and make sure that they, go back to the dock just before you get home.
So, with what's happening on social media, there's been a big hype, and there's also been a huge support for the young teacher Kelly that has come onto social media, and the community has taken stands to stand against her in a case that she has made against ex-principal and ex-principal's husband. It's very big on social media. There was some community members that went out to the school, and it's just been blowing up huge on TikTok. Last that I checked, she was on a podcast with Yusrik Maya, very touching. I actually opened up my TikTok, in last week, and I saw this young girl crying, and it's not very nice to see, such passionate people being so disappointed by the elderly. Sadly, so it is a molesting case that has been made, and also the Department of Education has then also given their words. There's people on social media that has been giving their words, and she's currently back in a job now. She has been taken on to another school. They moved her to another school, so she does have employment, and her fear was that she wasn't going to have any employment. Apparently, a contract ended. It wasn't supposed to be renewed. But with everything that transpired, I think social media has a lot of power, and if you use it accordingly, things can go in your way. What do you say about that?
Well, according to the media statement, they said that there's always two sides to a story.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. On social media, also, that's how social media is, and that's how people are with their opinions. People are saying that um, suddenly she went to social media that she was losing a job. It's very funny that these things happened before, and she's only talking about it now. Uh, at the end of the day, it wasn't a very nice thing that happened. Happy for her that she's got employment again. But amazing to see the community coming out together, in support of the young teacher there, Kelly, also. So justice for Kelly, and also, just heartwarming to see community supporting each other and doing the things out there.
Well, I mean, it's bravery, and sometimes women, men, or kids, they come out at a later stage. it's always going to be questioned, like, why now? Why not back then? But you won't know until you're in that situation. Or we always quick to say, why didn't you react this way? Why didn't you action it back then? So if she was only ready now, I would commend her for bravery and for everyone to go on facts and not opinions.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny enough, not enough, but it's funny that, sometimes people, particularly with social media, everybody thinks their opinion is valid. Sometimes your opinion, and I mean, as South Africans, we want our democratic right, and I keep putting emphasis on that. You do have an opinion, you do have a voice, you can say your say, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your opinion is based on fact, like you said. Sometimes your opinion can be based, on utter nonsense, and just blabbing out and diarrheaing out. And I think in most cases that also happens on social media, where people think, let's jump on the train and let's just have something to say. I think a lot of clickbait also happens when, big stories like this come onto social media, and people just get involved and say what they want to, and they use it for clout.
Yeah,
But like you said,
you have to have the evidence to back up your facts. And, you know, sometimes it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. And why I say that is because in for any, let's just say, rape victims, GBV victims, you have to have this entire reel of evidence, and it's very traumatic for the victim to actually live it.
yeah.
And you will feel like you are the perpetrator
Hmm.
and not the victim, because it's like you are put on the stand and you are grilled.
Hmm.
You have to have your facts in order, your evidence has to be like 100% to the T.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unfortunate that it's like that, because that in itself is traumatic for the victim.
Hmm. I fully agree with you. But again, to the community that went out, and spreading awareness with regards to this, there's a lot of weird things also happening currently in South Africa, and this just being a contributing factor. I think the people is becoming more aware. What do you call it? Woke.
Yeah, it's not hidden, it's so open with social media right now. And it's always just so lovely to see that the community, all the members and everyone, they're all standing behind her, because sometimes you do feel isolated.
Hmm.
And sometimes you do feel, even like with your friends or acquaintances, are they going to judge me or are they going to stand behind me?
Yeah.
So I am happy that Kelly does have Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly.
Yeah, that Kelly does have the support of the community behind her.
Yeah. Yeah. In other news, we've got a Ricky Ross.
Ricky Ross.
Rick Ross is in Cape
Rick
Town.
Ross.
Yeah.
It sounds like Mike Ross from Suits. So
No, he doesn't look anything like Mike Ross though. That's like a total different.
okay, well that's my series, just so that you know.
To be honest with you, I'd say, and I don't know if this is gonna sound weird, but Mike Ross is more handsome though. Rick Ross is in Cape Town. Everybody's making this big boo-ah about Rick Ross being here. Amazing. Rick Ross is all over social media. He did a commercial at Pick and Pay. He's at the 12 Apostles Hotel. He was at the cable car. And he's just the motherland, the motherland, the motherland.
Well, at
And
least he's pumping money into our economy. But for those who don't know who is Rick Ross?
Rick Ross is Puff Daddy's friend, and Puff Daddy, I don't know if you know who Puff Daddy
P
is.
Diddy.
P. Diddy,
Of
yeah. That's the
course.
guy that was smuggling baby oil in America.
Oh gosh, that's why when we look for those out of stock.
I don't know when South Africans is probably going to wake up is when they probably see a bottle of baby oil coming out, and they'll remember. But with that being said, South Africa is one of the most amazing countries in the world. Rick Ross is here, and as South Africans, like we did with Chris Brown, we gave them the support, and I think also him knowing that Chris Brown, had the biggest concert of his life in South Africa, coming to South Africa, he is going to be getting the support, because currently in America, there's not a lot of good things that is happening out there, and I think that's why a lot of tourists is coming to Cape Town. That's why a lot of celebrities is also coming to Cape Town. And that's why TikTok is also getting banned.
Yeah, it's quite questionable because like all the South Africans waking up in America,
Yeah,
they're like, this is my backup account.
I need to
Follow
change
me
my
on YouTube.
VPN.
I have the same username.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite sad as well
Yeah,
for some South Africans because, as you know, TikTok's not monetized here in SA. We don't make money from TikTok,
facts.
but like in America, they do.
Yeah, people are
And
buying Ferraris and double stories from TikTok money.
and obviously, it took a while, if not years, for them to build up all of their followers.
Yeah. The last I checked, the CEO of TikTok, 150 million, TikTok users came forward and, spoke up about this. It's very sad because most of, or at least the inspiring TikTokers in America, that South Africans follow, wouldn't have an opportunity to engage and to inspire South Africans. With that being said, also South Africa is fighting for monetization as a country. In fact, I DM'd the CEO. I'll pull up a picture of it. He didn't respond. Don't worry, I'm not friends with him. I am still waiting on a response. But Cape Townians as well and South Africans are also asking, can't we just come together and can't we just do something and mass message the CEO so that we can get monetized and so that we can get some cash in our bank accounts? Because I think the content in Africa or in Cape Town particularly is pretty good. Yeah, so as a country, I think maybe as an idea, and I think maybe because we can use our little small platform on the Cal and JC podcast, why don't we all just? I'll bring up the picture, check the CEO's name out, and every South African just DM him and ask if we can get monetized. Because I think it would be pretty dope if we could get monetized. It would be some extra cash for us to save, and there is people that needs money in South Africa as well. They can feed their families and do something positive with the money too. Yeah.
Well, time is money, and if you're going to spend your time on TikTok or just scrolling, I'd rather want to be paid for my time. Definitely.
Look, at the end of the day, you can get monetized on Facebook. Monetization is available on Facebook as well. We monetized on Facebook, and we almost monetized on YouTube. So, guys, check out our YouTube page, the Chill Out and Chill Out with Cal and JC podcast. I'll bring up the page and the username. Be good followers. Go to the page, subscribe. Talking about YouTube, I think our last video didn't get that much traction because I think we were talking. I think it was the health and fitness conversation that we're having.
Everyone's shying away from that because it's a
Mm,
very
it's a very
touchy
touchy subject,
subject.
yeah. But look, at the end of the day, we were talking about saving money and not wasting your money going to gym. But either or, go to the page, give us a follow, and let's just hope that we get monetized through TikTok. TikTok is being banned in America. Trump also mentioned that TikTok has a very soft place in my heart. And then also, I also heard that the presidency is speaking about keeping TikTok alive. That was the last that I checked yesterday. We're all waiting to see if it's going to be closed down tomorrow, and hopefully South Africa can get a feature and we can get paid.
Absolutely.
In other news, kids have been going to school, and wow, normally this time of the year, you always get those videos on social media where the kids are crying and running away. I saw some videos on Facebook where kids literally were they were they were piloting and the teachers had to run after them because they didn't want to be in school. Good enough, there wasn't any raucous videos of the junior schools, but in high school there were some videos trending first day of school. Some kids were hammering a teacher, and the teacher was hammering some students.
Oh yes, I saw that. It's quite sad to see,
Yeah.
and it's not something that you want to see,
Look, that's a
especially on
reflection.
social media.
Yeah, that's a reflection of the parents. Um,
And what our teachers have to go through on a daily basis, especially in some of the rough areas.
yeah. Look, there's a camp that I see on social media where they take all the naughty kids to. That's like a concentration camp, but it's a discipline camp. I think most of the kids should be sent that way. But with the way things are in South Africa, and with the kids, and it's been coming on a long time, where the disrespect to the teachers have suddenly just raised.
Yeah, because
Uh,
discipline starts at home.
yeah. Look, in that case, I think it's the parents that should be brought to book, and it's also a very bad reflection onto parents. So if you are a parent and you have kids, we're not telling you how to raise your kids, but I mean, there's a lot of things that I know that I've been taught. But one of the things, still as a kid, is that respect your elders and your days will be lengthened. So last week we made a post about a family member that has fell horrendously ill, um, and she has to go on dialysis, and also medication is very expensive. We started a Back a Buddy, campaign for, and hoping that um, our community, our TikTok community, friends and family would come together, in support of the huge funds that needs to be raised. It's about 300,000 rand that needs to be raised. The sad part about this, that I do want to actually touch on, because I've seen another influencer also touch on it, is that South Africa does not want to assist when it comes to big, call it operations or medical schemes. Fortunately, the family member of ours, they've gained citizenship in the UK.
Yeah, because that's where our family is also from. So it's unfortunate that they have to leave. Um, and yeah, and I think the one airline even rejected them, her in particular, to fly back. So they're leaving tomorrow, which is Sunday. And JC and I will go and see them off at the airport.
Yeah,
Yeah. And depending on how things go, we may have to fly out and maybe just save and not buy cakes and sweets. But literally, like on a serious note, like all jokes aside, it's quite disheartening to see, when you do have some chronic disease and you are in medical aid, and medical aid takes months to sign off your chronic meds. I had an ex-colleague who also just passed away, because medical aid took so long to sign off on these chronic meds. And I don't think that they know how critical it is, because we are just a number to them. It's just a job to
yeah,
them,
yeah.
you know?
I think I saw that video of the nurse that didn't want to sign off the paperwork to this one lady, and she's been sitting there the whole day. And this nurse just blew a gasket, and she's like, "Sue me, I will F you up," and wow, and record me and put me on social media. And she went viral. Um, and I mean, that is one of the things that Nelson Mandela actually fought for, is free education and free healthcare.
Yes, and what about that guy, as well with his mom overseas? Um, it doesn't matter about wealth, like having all of the money. It's like if you're in this medical aid scheme,
Hmm.
you also have to wait, and he couldn't watch her or hear suffer
Hmm.
for so long.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm not going to mention what he did, but I mean, he's being praised as a hero, because most people are going through that right now when it comes to taking off our debit orders at the end of the month.
hmm,
Medical aid, they're so quick to take your money,
hmm,
and there isn't even like a grace period, or maybe the grace period is like within 5 days.
hmm,
I'm not going to mention, you know. And with household insurance, their grace period is like much longer, like sometimes 12 or 17 days,
yeah,
but they cut you off. It's like no cover with medical aid. And with household insurance, you are on this grace period where if anything happens, you are covered.
hmm,
So I'm just questioning things, and someone who knows even more information, even just reach out to us, because like right now, I think our family is feeling very, very disheartened and very disappointed in South Africa. There's just so much. I mean, I'm jumping now, but in London, if you are an abuser towards a female, your name gets recorded at, the police station. And if you do get into a relationship with a female, the first thing that you have to disclose is what happened in your previous relationship or towards another person.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where South Africa also fails us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, very sad knowing that the government, just particularly, the senior citizens that has put so much, of their hard work and sweat into the country. There was another piece of content that I saw where a lady that is a community activist inquired at Manandi Beach about bringing the senior citizens out for like a picnic day,
It was like two buses.
two full buses, like 120 of them. At that time, they took the booking and they pulled up there. I think it was today or yesterday. I'm not sure. And they were just, you can't come in because the water isn't clean. I mean, there's no regard for, in fact, holistically, in this case, senior citizens. If you look at the pension that senior citizens are receiving now, I mean, you're going to other countries and pensioners literally, they live decent lives of the pension money. So again, we're going to leave the link in the description as well. Just copy it, put it in your browser for the backup buddy, and you know if you feel like supporting, or we are urging you, please support and help save a life where the family member is concerned as well. It would really mean a lot to us, and it would also mean a lot to their family in the same breath. Yeah.
Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed your time with Chill Out with Carl and JC podcast. Until next time, stay blessed, stay
Stay kind.
kind. Peace.
Peace.